Hello, so we're still at Haxa Summit, and with me is actor Hugh Quarshie, a fantastic actor at that. You being in film, what role do you think film has in driving this message of our cultural heritage as Africans to the rest of the world?
Well, you can see from the response to the film Black Panther that it means a huge amount to have black Africans at the forefront of a film, and not just to be the supporting roles who are usually killed off quite early on in film. But we've come a long way from films in which Africans were depicted as shall we say, natives speaking some made-up language, saying Umgawa, to a made-up place called Wakanda. But nevertheless, the point of it being that daring to suggest that if Africa had been left alone, Africa's development might have been unimpeded and might even have outstripped the rest of the world. But we have to start from where we are, and I hope that, well, I know that film has a very important role to play in telling our stories, and also in readdressing the priorities of the film world.
Great. And what advice would you give African filmmakers? Because even if you think about Black Panther, it comes from the West, but those within the continent, what advice would you give to them regarding this agenda?
Well, film is always an expensive business, and because of the lack of film finance in Ghana and in other African countries, films then tend to get made quite cheaply, and that means that the production values, the things that you spend your money on a film, will be sorely limited and reduced. So I think it's the onus is on governments to recognize the importance of the film industry. Film can earn a lot of money. A good film, well made, can be exported beyond the boundaries of a country to the rest of the world. I think at the moment the film industry is heavily dominated by the Americans, to some extent by the Indians in Bollywood, but the Chinese are coming on strong. And I think if we could form a hub and perhaps an axis between West Africa, the Ghanaian film industry, the Nigerian film industry, and the South African film industry. I think that there's a huge market within Africa, but we should be thinking bigger about making films that would be appealing beyond the borders of Africa. And we have many stories to tell, not just about the colonial days, about slavery, but there are many interesting, exciting stories that we can tell, which I think would have an audience worldwide.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Before you go off, can you tell us what you expect from me in terms of film? Are you working on any exciting new productions?
Well, I'm in a long-running television drama in the UK called Holby City, but I take leave of it from time to time to do other things. I'm currently trying to develop a television series which I must remain quiet about until it's developed. But suffice it to say, as and when it is made, I hope that it will command a lot of attention, and it will be about the United Nations.
Thank you very much.